Hello everyone. Today we're going to finish up lesson 10.2 with part 3, where we're going to multiply and divide radical expressions. Okay. Just as a reminder, when we talked at the beginning of this lesson 10.2, we talked about simplifying radicals. Let's recall what that means. Okay, we can't have any perfect square factors other than 1. Can't have any of those inside of the radical. The radical can't contain fractions, so no fractions inside of a radical, and no radicals in the denominator. Again, the denominator is the bottom of, we have the numerator and we have the denominator of a fraction. No radicals in the denominator, so in the bottom of our fractions. Okay, so those are the 3 points it means to simplify radicals. So if we've done that, then we've simplified these steps, all right? So the first problem we're going to work with is multiplying square roots. And to multiply square roots, you just put them under the same radical and multiply them. So 2 times 14 would give us the square root of 28. Of course, now we've got to simplify the square root of 28. And you can do that in many ways. I'm going to use the finding pairs here, do the prime factorization of 28 with what? 7 and 4, and 2 and 2. So again, I got a pair of 2, so they can come outside of my radical, and my leftover 7 needs to stay in the radical. So this would simplify to 2 square roots of 7. All right, let's do this again with, well, you guys go ahead with 2a here. So go ahead and pause. Go ahead and try 2a. And so after you've paused and tried this, we should have, well, the square root of 5 times 10, which is the square root of 50. Okay, breaking down 50, again, I'll use the prime factorization and kind of look for pairs. So what we've got 25 and 2. 2's prime, can't break that down. 25 we could break down to 5 and 5. So this is the prime factorization. We've got a pair of 5s, so this would be 5. We've got leftover 2, so 5 square roots of 2. All right, 2b I will leave for you guys. All right, 2b for you guys. And you guys can try that one then on your own, kind of talk about it amongst yourselves as well. Right. And then so the second property we're going to learn about here today is the quotient property of square roots. And to divide square roots and simplify radical expressions, you can use the quotient property of square roots. Okay? You're either able to write them both under the same radical, or you can write them separately. So to apply that quotient property to this one, if I write them under the same radical, I end up with 2 over 32 inside of my radical. Well, why is this useful? 2 over 32, you can reduce that fraction. That would reduce to 1 over 16. Okay? And then to square root this, let's actually undo the quotient property and split this apart. This could become the square root of 1 over the square root of 16, which is, the square root of 1, of course, is 1. The square root of 16 is 4. So this all simplifies to 1/4. Right. So on this next problem, problem 4, slightly different. We've got a couple numbers out in front of our radicals. For right now, let's just leave those there. 3 over 2. And then let's maybe try to use the quotient property again. Well, we've got 15 over 12. Can we reduce the 15 over 12? We should be able to. I see that 3 goes into both of those. And so if we reduced both 15 and 12 by 3, we would have what? 5 over 4. Now doing this, let's again undo the quotient property. So let's split them back out of the fraction. Now we have 3 root 5 over 2 square root 4. Okay. Doing this allows you to, well, recognize now the square root of 4 is, here, looking at the square root of 4, square root of 4 is 2. This would simplify to 3 square root of 5 over 2 times Given the square root of 4 is 2. One more step here. 3 square root of 5 over 4. That would be my simplified answer. Again, no radicals in the denominator, no fractions inside of my radicals. So I am simplified. I'm good to go. My 3 over 4 is reduced. I can't reduce that fraction anymore. So I'm done here. All right. If you guys flip this page over, you'll have your homework. And you guys can go ahead and get started on that. Thank you for your participation today.